Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Diary of a Trainee Psychological Wellbeing Practitioner, a Trainee PWP. This is episode 4, which we're going to talk about week 4. This is all about the fourth week of the program. What a week! 4 weeks. That's a month. So this is our first month so far in the course, in the training program. And on this week, we had our sort of tutor role play. It was like an assessment, although we're not really assessed in terms of grades or mark, but we were given like a little practice on how we can deliver the problem focused assessment. So the second stage. So they gave us a bit of a role play. Our different tutors sort of like allocated all of us, and we all had certain times, and we literally went through that whole process of being having that tutor role play. We all took turns, so they grouped us with different trainees, so each one gets to be the practitioner and a client. So we got to swap roles as well, and it was interesting. It was it was fun, to be honest. It was really fun. It was interesting. Learned a lot, got good feedback, where I went wrong, or where I can improve, areas of improvement, areas that I did good in. And it was really, really beneficial to kind of get that experience out there, to know what it's like, and to get that beneficial feedback from our tutors. Because they were preparing us for the following week, which would be our actual assessed, what we call an OSCE. And an OSCE is basically a objective structured clinical exam. Again, like I think I mentioned this in the second episode with triage, I thought it was more of a nursing thing. OSCEs, I have worked with a lot of medical practice. I've worked with a lot of doctors. I've worked with psychiatrists. I've worked with medical students, medical interns, and I thought only medicals, thought medical doctors, kind of like, or medical professionals, they actually do OSCEs. Didn't know we had them as well, but apparently we have an OSCE, and that got us prepared. So we had to prepare ourselves for the next week, in week 5, and there we're going to have literally or actors who will actually play act as a role of a client, and we need to put ourselves really be assessed and put our skills in place. So that was pretty much of kind of like week 4. We were dealing with that in the beginning. On Tuesday, which is usually my triage day, I had my first 2, so that was a good experience. Had my first 2. It was nice. It was good to get that experience. You have that fear sometimes of how this is going to go, even regardless of the experience. But because you're being trained for a specific role. Your experience here helps, but it's about learning, and you feel like I don't want to get it wrong. But fortunately, our tutors, our senior staff, our supervisors, they keep on telling us to calm down. They reassure us that, look, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Just get used to it, and you will slowly become comfortable with it, and you will gradually improve, and you'll find your own way of how you can actually deliver the best triage possible at that specific time. We've only got half an hour, so it's short, but can be very challenging. So I had that, and then supervision on Wednesday, trying to get shadow other sort of like qualified practitioners, or qualified PWP, so I can get my triage skills improved. And then Thursday I was at the Lind. So usually now we were just going through like the first month was more like a bit of an orientation. Those first couple of weeks where we're learning about what's our week going to look like. So we've got uni was on Monday and Fridays, no longer anymore, but like it was on Mondays and Fridays, and then the remaining of the week we're at our specific, like, dealing with our service. So we've got 2 days we're in this particular place, and then another place. For me, I'm at the Lynn Clinic, which was at Deptford, every Thursday. So I'm at that clinic, and this is where we're meant to be having our face-to-face sessions. So Friday we come, they speak to us about our OSCEs, they tell us what's going on, and after the OSCEs we need to do a write-up. So That was what was really, really important about our write-up. So from the OSCEs which were assessed, then we got to do a reflective summary or reflective essay, an assignment that we have to write about reflecting on our practice and, you know, the areas that we think that we can improve on. And yeah, that was pretty much a Friday. Went to see two of my aunties, and it was a nice Turkish food that they ordered out. It was really, really nice seeing my aunties as well on that Friday, and it was a nice weekend, you know, just getting ourselves prepared and prepped. And what was interesting as well was I was thinking about, so what they did was this: they told us that we all have like 3-4 days annual leave, because I think every March, April they kind of like they do some changes every year with the leave days and rota and what have you. So we were all given, like, I got like 3.6 days or something like that. Others maybe got about 3 something, 4. And I thought, what am I going to do? So one of my aunties mentioned, you know, why don't you travel? And I thought about traveling, and I was like, okay. So I was thinking, should I go to France? Should I go to Paris? And I looked at the weather. I'm like, it's still cold as the UK. Then I looked at Barcelona and I said, you know what? 18 degrees, which is what it is right now here in the UK. We're getting to the, you know, we're starting to get a little bit warm. But back in March, I was looking at Barcelona and I was thinking to myself, hola, you know what I mean? Like, this is looking good. You know what? I'm going to go to Barcelona. And it's not the first time. I've been to Barcelona before, and that was back in 99. I remember we drove down there and booked my tickets. And I said, you know what? I took my leave literally like 2 days. The same week of the OSCEs. So my OSCE was on a Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, mine was on a Monday. So I took my leave on, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and the remaining of the week was kind of like, you know, an actual break for us. So yeah, I went to Spain. So I'll explain more in the next video, which is going to be about week 5. And yeah, so that's pretty much it.